Hello everyone, welcome back to Traveling Gun. This is my third and final segment of my collaboration with Skybobbytv. And in this segment we talk about longevity, what made him last for 30 years, and his benefits that he has at his seniority, and amongst many other things for our last and final segment. I've enjoyed working with Skybobby on this collaboration, and I look forward to many more. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
And we were talking the other day how, you were asking how many vacation days I had. And it didn't even hit me that I had so many vacation days until I saw your reaction. And I have 40 days vacation. I have 500 hours of sick pay. We have time off without pay. I can get 15 days off. So if I want to be off, I could be off. But it never really hit me how much of the benefits I did have until it shocked you. And I think you keep going too, because your job gets better as a flight attendant as the years go by, like holding the trips that you want, flying where you want to go, having the days off you need. Like you said, we were talking that when you first started, you worked every single holiday. I have that luxury now. I can pick and choose what holiday I want to work. It just gets better each year. And the next thing you know, you've been flying for 30, 40. We have girls who's been flying for 50 years at my company. In their 80s. A lot of them are starting to retire right now because of what's going on, and our company's offering these buyout packages just to early retires, which I always laugh when they say early retire because these girls are in their 80s. What is that early retirement? You mean their second coming? So, to answer my own question, I think this job still has that career forward about this job. You can make this work if you plan right, make sure you don't live above your means, and able to plan accordingly. That's a good question. You also got to think about what's going on outside the airplane or the airport or the life of your company. One of the things that contribute to longevity and still liking my job is the physicality of the job. It's a very demanding job. You're doing a lot of lifting, bending. You're not eating correctly because you're always on the road. And one of the things I've always tried to do over the years is make sure my fitness was up to par. Making sure all my layovers, I try to at least get out and work out. Most hotels have gyms. And even on my off days, it's the reason why you get so many off days, because that job, it's a beat down. Sometimes you're working 14, 15 hours a day. You might have to sleep during the day. You might have to be awake at night. You might have to do a red-eye flight, working like a graveyard shift. And sleep was always important to me. When I was in my dumb 20s, I could go out and party all night and then be 6 a.m. for that flight. Now I need my beauty rest the night before to be ready for that flight. And I think I've tried every fad diet to make sure, that I was, maintaining my weight and everything. But what I found that was a savior was bringing your own food, bringing your own lunch pails, stay off the airplane food. I think that was longevity. Sleep, eating right, and balancing your work with fun. So if you're working 14 days straight, you want to be 14 days off. If you work hard, you got to play hard. You got to balance that some kind of way. You can't just work all the time. I see these younger kids coming in, they're working 180 hours a month, lifetime. And I come from the generation, 100 hours, that was like a lot. So, don't chase the money. The money's not everything. This job is a lifestyle. It's not, if you're here to make money, this is not the job for you.
Yeah, I say that all the time too, I tell people all the time, I'm like, if you're gonna work hard 1 month, take the next month and go somewhere, because you have to reward yourself or you'll burn yourself out if you just working, and you don't even enjoy the benefits of it, because it's going to be like, what am I doing this for? Because it seems like all I'm doing is working. When I'm not working, I'm sleeping. So what's the point? And you burn yourself out. Like sometimes what I tell people I do is I'll try to get max credit hours for 1 month. Then the next month I'll do max days off. That way I can kind of plan, have 4 or 5 days to go somewhere. and still, still make enough money to do anything. And even in that month that I do max credit hours, I try to take a day trip somewhere, or I would do a day trip somewhere if I'm feeling up to it, or if it's enough time for me to do it, depending on where it is. But I try to tell people the same exact thing. If you're going to work here, at least take advantage of the benefits. That's what they're for. Because it's no point in having this job just to work, and you don't enjoy any of the luxuries that it provides for you. Well, have I ever experienced any racism? I have never experienced direct racism. Maybe indirect racism I've probably experienced, but like I had a captain I'm working for. He was supposed to come brief both of us at the same time, which, and if people don't know, regional is only 2 flight attendants. So they're supposed to brief both of us at the same time. He walked past me, he briefs my flying partner, comes right back and walks right past me, go back to the flight deck. And she briefs me about what he said, versus him telling me, what's supposed to be said to us during the briefing. I've had that. I've had a passenger who said he didn't want me to serve him. He wanted my flying partner to serve him. And I didn't really take offense to that, because I don't know if it was the fact of she was a woman and I'm a guy. He wanted to flirt with her. So I couldn't really say if that was some type of racism, but there are some times where you get some looks like, ugh, cause especially when you walk up to the gate, that's when everybody sees you. And then you can kind of see the looks that you get from some people. Some people give you smiles. Some people are looking like, them again, something like sort of kind of like that. But there was a story about, I'm not going to say the city that this person was flying to. She was doing first class service. We do a pre-departure for first class. And the lady wouldn't answer her, when she was asking her what she wanted to drink. So she just moved on and kept going to get everybody else. So she went back to the person and kept asking because she didn't think she could hear her. The husband goes to her, looks to her and say, "Oh, my wife doesn't talk to the help." And like that she said that just crushed her. She couldn't even work the rest of the flight. Like she just went up in the galley and just started crying. So I haven't experienced, racism directly, but I know if it happens to one, it definitely can happen to me, and anybody. So I haven't really experienced direct racism or anything like that with that story, where somebody said, "Oh, I don't talk to the help," like that. So it's just one of those things that it's crazy. It's crazy.
I haven't experienced it more on the plane, but more on the layovers, cities I've been to. And maybe it's just me. Sometimes Black people, we think everything is racist because of our oppression of just, we've never really talked about racism. So we think everything is racism. We use the race card pretty more than what people think we should be using it. But sometimes that's the reality of, where you are, knowing where you are, even internationally. I have the gay card, I have the Black card, I have the tall Black guy card. I have all these labels that people put on us, and no matter where you go, you bring it with you. So yeah, I haven't really experienced it on the airplane, but more off the airplane.
So I have experienced racism throughout life. Growing up in the South, I've experienced it in college. I can vividly remember this. We were going to a game in Memphis. I went to school in Birmingham. Me and my friends were driving to Memphis to see our team play against the University of Memphis. We stopped in some town in Mississippi, to get gas, get something to drink. And, we get up to the counter. The lady goes, "We don't serve y'all around here." And, it was one of those things like, thinking it was a joke, "Excuse me." And she said the same thing. And we just was like, "Hey, okay, let's," and we went on about our, kind of like the scene from Life. You say that it's 30 miles down the road, 30 miles down. It was one of those, it was kind of like that feeling of a thing. I've experienced a lot of racism just growing up in life, not mostly just being out and growing up in the South, but not in this field of work. as far as, like I said, direct racism. It's really been nice talking to you today, Bobby. I want to thank you for joining me in this collaboration video. I know it's been a long time coming, and I just want to thank you. You know, we got to know more about you. People got to know more about me, the life of what it was like to be a flight attendant back, you know, in the 80s, and, you know, now for me, 2 years. So I don't want to say old versus young, but, you know, it's kind of the way that it's going. So I want to thank you.
I'm old.
I want to thank you for joining me. For those of you who don't know me, you can reach me at Traveling Gun on YouTube. You can also catch me on Instagram at The Distinguished Gentleman. The link will be in the description below. Bobby, how can people get in contact with you?
You can reach me here on my YouTube channel at Skybobbytv. You can also reach me on Instagram at Skybobbytv. And I just started doing TikTok at Skybobbytv. And I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me. It was so much fun doing this. I've been waiting a long time to do this, and it finally happened. And let's do this again.
Okay. And make sure you all subscribe to both of our channels. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below so we can interact with you all. And I want to thank you all for joining us on this collaboration video. Until next time, we'll see you again.
Thanks a lot. Bye, girl. Bye.